Hey, it's John. The question I'm answering this week is, can my purpose-driven business also be profitable? It's a great question. It's coming up more and more often. I think it's because leaders and business owners are realizing that purpose plays an essential role in building a successful business, in building a valuable business. But how vital is purpose, and does it come at the sacrifice of profit? To answer the question, I want to start by diving into what a purpose-driven business really is. So, founders of purpose-driven businesses are typically inspired by something much bigger than themselves. And because of that, they attract people to their cause. They put people and purpose before profit and growth. And they try to solve a problem in the world. They have this shared goal of improving people's lives. So for me, that came when South Africa emerged from the apartheid era, from this very dark period in our history, and the country had a number of challenges. I didn't just start a company, and my purpose wasn't about selling software or storing boxes on shelves. The purpose of creating a company and bringing people together at that time was to contribute to building a nation, to help solve some of the problems we had. I wanted to be part of solving the economic challenges. I wanted to help create employment. And I wanted to bring innovation and business models and new marketing ideas from other parts of the world and kind of inject those into the South African business community. It all started very well. It was a lot of fun, and I attracted a lot of like-minded people, and we set about building a business. However, over time, like many business owners, our focus shifted from that sense of purpose and building a business to help grow a nation, to being focused on revenue and profit and growth. And along the way, I woke up and realized that we got to a point where revenue was flat, profits were down, we weren't attracting the same people anymore, it just wasn't fun, and I was busier than ever, and the business wasn't moving forward. Fortunately, I woke up to that and managed to change it over time. But in contrast, founders of authentic purpose-driven businesses, or owners of authentic purpose-driven businesses, will always put people and purpose first before growth and profit. The whole business and the strategy are aligned around the purpose of that business. So the operating model, the hiring process or recruitment process, the customer interactions and customer success, all geared toward that single focus, that single purpose, that shared goal of improving people's lives. When the business is confronted with situations of financial performance, the owners of that business or the founders of that business will boldly defend and adhere to the business's core values and principles and purpose. So again, you're saying, okay, that's all great, but are purpose-driven businesses profitable? Well, Jim Stengel, who was the global marketing officer at Procter & Gamble, did a study of 50,000 businesses over a 10-year period. And what he discovered was that companies that have a brand ideal or a shared goal of improving people's lives do 3 times better than competitors in the same category. Even more remarkable, he discovered that the top 50 businesses in his study had a return on investment 400% more than the S&P 500. And Jim's work isn't the only work that supports this idea that purpose-driven businesses are profitable. The Harvard Business Review recently released a report or an article that supported this, saying that companies with a high level of purpose outperform the market by 5 to 7%. Okay, so here you're saying, yes, but John, those are big businesses with lots of resources. I have a small business with limited resources. Well, Patagonia was a small business with limited resources back in the 70s. And through the 80s, they grew rapidly. And like every other business, they had ups and downs. But as we all know, what's different about Patagonia is that they stuck to putting people and purpose first. During the 80s, they grew rapidly. In the 90s, they were on the brink of bankruptcy, so much so that founder Yvon Chouinard's accountants set up a meeting with the mafia to get a loan at an interest rate of around 18%. Fortunately, he didn't take the loan, and what he did instead was took money from friends, helped Argentinians get money out of the country at that time, had to lay off 20% of the workforce. But in his own words, he realized that bigger isn't always better, and he created this sort of small thinking mindset inside Patagonia, and they stayed private and they stuck with their purpose. And in 2018, the company is valued at around $1 billion. So I think there's something to be said for purpose-driven businesses and profitability. The trick is to find your authentic purpose and to stick with it through ups and downs. Okay, so taking action. You need to answer the question, why do we exist? If you really want to have an authentic purpose-driven business and you want it to be profitable, you need to answer that question, why do we exist? And the small giants have come up with a great equation for this. Purpose is equal to our core values times the pain that we solve. So with that equation in mind, what you want to do is you want to sit down with the people who have been with you for a long time. And you want to talk about what their individual values are, what their backstories are, why they're there, why they joined your business, what's important to them. From there, reflect on those and construct a set of core values that are shared values across the team. So if you don't have any core values in the business, this is the time to start creating them. And then consider how the core values link with the pain you're trying to solve, how those two come together, and through that, identify what your core purpose is. And this is not something that has to be written up in all sorts of fancy words. It's just your purpose should clearly state what you're built for and how your company will make a difference to people's lives and make the world a better place. Then stick to it. I hope you found this useful. I'd love to hear comments. Add them to the comments below. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube.